Humbled and fighting for survival, Detroit's Big Three are pledging to reduce car lines, cut workers, and curb executive pay in return for a federal lifeline. General Motors is asking for an immediate $4 billion and as much as $18 billion overall. The company says it may go bankrupt by January 1st without an infusion of money and warns it could drag the rest of the domestic auto industry down with it. Chrysler says it needs $7 billion by year's end. Democratic leaders have said they might call Congress back next week to pass an auto bailout, but only if the automakers' plans show that the Big Three are viable in the long run with Washington's help.
We want to see a commitment to the future. We want to see a restructuring of their approach, that they have a new business model, a new business plan. There has to be a compensation reform.
And not only has to be viable, that is, there's some lasting good to this, but also that there's accountability.
Ford is in much better shape than GM and Chrysler. It's asking for a $9 billion standby line of credit, but says it doesn't expect to have to tap the funds unless GM or Chrysler go bust. Its plan also predicts the company would break even or turn a profit in 2011. Despite the industry's predicament, a Ford dealer remains optimistic.
I like the fact that it's going to let the automobile companies let America know what plans they have and reinforce their strength, their capability, and what they've already done to resize and restructure to show them that these companies are worldwide competitive companies.
And on the auto line, the reaction is mixed.
Anytime you go through change, it takes suffering. Sometimes it takes changes. It's just going to take a little time to go through what we're going through.
Until you see all the fine print and understand what all the conditions are, you're not going to be fully aware or in the know, if you will, of what actually they're really saying.
All three plans envision the government getting a stake in the auto companies that would allow taxpayers to share in future gains if they recover. The CEOs of the three companies also plan to travel in fuel-efficient hybrid cars when they come to Washington for hearings later this week. Meanwhile, the UAW has summoned local union leaders to an emergency meeting in Detroit Wednesday to discuss possible concessions too. Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.